Just make sure everything's good to go. Looks fine. Thumbnail worked fine. All right, cool. Audio's working good. All right, cool. Making sure the stream was working and all that. So yeah, we definitely got quite a bit to talk about. I didn't want to just do a singular video on this shit. I got a lot to kind of talk about before we get into the Xavien Howard talk and the training camp talk. I want to kind of give an update about what's going to happen come the regular season. I am planning on getting Game Pass and everything like that and doing the film sessions like I did last year. Hopefully there are no delays on that, but right now I'm in kind of a rough situation financially. My financial aid for school got I just had like a bunch of problems with it, so I'm now having to pay it out of pocket. And my grandfather was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. So I am also in the process of trying to move because my grandmother, if he passes, cannot survive on her own financially. So I'm trying to find a new place where she can stay with me. So I'm in kind of a rough spot financially. Right now I'm just having a hard time finding an extra $100 to spare. But I just want to be transparent with y'all. Hopefully I'll have it before the regular season starts. But with that out of the way, appreciate you letting me know how my sound and everything goes. Xavien Howard. Xavien Howard is a very interesting case because if you were to ask me or any Dolphins fan, hey, do you want Xavien Howard on your team? The answer is absolutely yes. I would love to have Xavien Howard on my team still. Despite everything, I still do want him because he makes our team better. He is still a top corner in the game, possibly the best corner in the game, debatably. And having him and being able to lock up a number 1 and 2 receiver and then just let our pass rush tee off on people is incredible. But, man, I'm just done with the circus, dude. I really am. I just want it to be done. Now, I don't think he's being unreasonable, to be fair. I mean, I seen what he posted on social media. He's not looking for an entirely new contract. He's looking to rework the contract he has to basically go more toward guarantee, go more toward bonus, stuff like that, not so much the incentive-based stuff. Apparently, the agent he had when he signed that contract didn't properly explain to him the details of the contract, and that does suck. I mean, young players run into that quite a bit. It's just unfortunate. So, I mean, I don't think it's completely unreasonable to want to rework the contract to kind of just go a little bit more toward the guaranteed money. I don't blame him. But at this point, I just want to get it done. And it sounds like he doesn't want to be here anymore. And I'm not for trying to force people to be here. Because I don't even know if we pay him at this point, how much faith does he still have in the organization? Is it past the money at this point? Now, I'm not going to say anything between him and his teammates because that's totally different. Especially the veterans of the NFL, they're pretty good about knowing how to balance business and your teammates. They know how to do that. But I don't know. I'm not sure where Xavien's mind is with the organization anyway. So it's a tough situation to be in. Regardless, I want to get this situated one way or another. Either we rework his deal and he comes back and plays for us, or just go ahead and move him if we can. Or if you just want to say, because I was just pulling up the contracts. Let me take a look at him real quick. Xavien Howard. Yeah. So we have a potential out after this year. After the 2021 season ends, we can cut him with about $2.8 million in dead cap, which is quite a bit. But I mean, it's our best bet if we can't trade him for anything valuable. And then whatever team he goes to, he's probably going to make enough money to get us a comp pick. Well, I don't know if that would really work this way, but regardless, I might just keep him depending on what we can get for the trade, and then hopefully we can work something out or something. But either way, I'm just done with the circus, man. And if he just doesn't want to be here anymore, then let's just move him. Let's just move him. Also, apparently he had some sort of injury in training camp that kept him from practicing today. So that is what it is. I'm not really that concerned with it, to be honest, until more information comes out. That kind of shit happens all the time. It is what it is. He's a star. He's not going to play through shit in training camp. So, yeah. That's basically my thoughts on it. I want to get the shit done. I'm tired of the circus. Let's just fucking rip the Band-Aid off or fix it. One way or the other. So, yeah. Let's see. As far as the Miami Dolphins go, I'm going to go ahead and pull up our roster. And some of the players I'm kind of looking forward to seeing in this preseason, because a lot of the guys we got last year we really didn't get to see in preseason either. Cameron Tom and Matt Skora and Michael Dieter, they're all going to have a pretty interesting fight in preseason to try to see who is going to lead the center spot for us. It's going to be one of the three. I think our center spot is going to be pretty rough regardless. But it just is what it is. Now, luckily, with the Xavien Howard thing, our depth at corner isn't really that bad. Now, I probably will do I probably will do a dedicated video as well, covering the Dolphins going into preseason. I'll probably wait till after the Hall of Fame game is over, because I'll probably do a video of, players I want to see on the Steelers and Cowboys in the Hall of Fame game. Because I don't know about y'all. I'm just excited for football at this point. I don't care who it is. I need some football back in my life. That just is what that is. But luckily, like I said, even if Xavien Howard doesn't play this year, now obviously it wouldn't replace him. But we do have some guys. We really do. I think that Noah Igbenogany and Jason McCourty could be pretty decent on the outside. And then you still got Nick on, for the slot. And then, of course, Byron, of course, amazing on the other side. So, worst case scenario, I still think we're okay. Now, obviously, if you ask me, would I like to have Xavien Howard? Of course I would. But I think we did cover our ass a little bit when we did sign Jason McCourty. I think that's pretty much what that signing was for, and I even said that when it happened. Yeah, I'm pumped for it, man. Dude, I was watching fucking indoor football league shit. Like, I'm getting desperate for some fucking football. I'm watching prospects for the 2022 NFL draft class. It's ridiculous. I'm getting antsy for it now. You know, and it's always weird too because it always creeps up on me every year. Like I'll be fine. Like I'll be watching the NBA, I'll be watching the UFC, and I'll be fine. Once the NBA season is over, it gets pretty rough a little bit, but I still got the UFC. But when we get about a week from preseason, it just goes insane for me. Like it feels like every second is like 4 days. But yeah. So I am definitely excited to see what the center situation is going to do. I definitely want to see Noah really step up in preseason and maybe even in the regular season, depending on how things go. Jason McCourty, I'd like to see what he has left in the tank. Tayshaun Render is a guy I really, really want to see him and Jason Strobridge. I think that they can be very, very talented players, especially Jason Strobridge. I shit you not, he didn't get much playing time last year, but he is one of our best run defenders by far. That dude is a stud at stopping the run. He just hasn't had that many opportunities to get on the field yet. I don't know how much he's really going to give us pass rush wise. He didn't really show that much in college. Who knows what he might have picked up in practice last year. But I am very excited to see what he can do. Emmanuel Agba, of course, is going to be good. Adam Butler, seeing him with us. I'd love to see if Raekwon Davis has stepped up at all and gotten even better than he was. Benito Jones, maybe see if he's picked up knowing how to control people a little bit better, because he's always been strong as hell, big as hell, but he just needs to learn how to control people a little bit more. Let's see. All the rookies, Robert Jones, Liam Eichenberg, and even last year's rookies like Solomon Kinley, Austin Jackson, Robert Hunt. I want to see all those dudes. Our whole offensive line is a question mark, so I need to see those dudes. Really, really excited to see Shaquem Griffin as well. I'm a big fan of him. I love college. I think that Seattle was using him correctly. He's not really meant to be like a linebacker. Like they were using him as like a Sam. He's not a Sam. He's more of like a speed rusher, 3-4 outside linebacker. And I think this is a good scheme for him because we do that sometimes. I think he would be a really good rotation guy for Van Ginkel. So I'm really excited to see what he can bring to the table. Colin Johnson, yeah. McKinney, I'm excited about. I mentioned that. I can't wait to see Jalen Phillips. Let's see. I want to see what Tua, of course, has improved on for sure. Jared Dokes, definitely excited. Jordan Scarlett is a guy I'm a massive fan of. I loved him at Florida. I want to see what he can do. I want to see if Javon Holland can kind of rein things in a little bit and show himself as a true safety, because he really didn't show that to me in college. But I'm hoping that he can improve. Larnell Coleman's fine. I do want to see some from him. Timon Paris, I don't really expect to make the roster, to be completely honest with you. Same with Jonathan Hubbard. Keith and Carter, he can go. Also, for me, another person that can go is Carl Tucker. I'm not trying to have fullbacks, period, at this point in the NFL. I know Flo seems to like them, seems like having fullbacks, but I just don't care. Now, I will say the two fullbacks we have, at least they are guys who can play fullback and tight end, which is what I've said I wanted if we had to have a fullback, is someone who could play tight end as well. Lim Bowden, of course. Isaiah Ford can probably go. Robert Foster can go. Jakeem Grant probably can go. Alan Hearns can absolutely go. Kai Loxley, I'm kind of curious to see. He was another guy who was a quarterback in college and is now going to be playing receiver for us. We seem to like those types of players. Now, as far as the physically unable to perform list, Devontae Parker, Elena Roberts, and Preston Williams are still on that list. And DJ Fluker is also on the injured reserve as well. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think this defense can really lead us to go a long way. And I think our offense is improved enough to take advantage of the situations. We just need to be getting sacks and turnovers like we were last year. And I think with the improvements on the offensive line and the weapons and having Tua have an actual training camp and just a second year in the system, I think it'll help a lot. I really do. I think this defense is going to be fucking nasty. I really, really do. I'm really excited about this defense. But I'll feel much more excited about it if we can get Xavien Howard to play. Real quick, I guess we can talk about the Hall of Fame. Definitely shout out to the Hall of Famers. Very, very excited to see a lot of these guys go in. Calvin Johnson, John Lynch, Peyton. I grew up with these people. Charles Woodson. I grew up watching those dudes. Some of the other guys a little bit before my time, but I'm only 23. It just is what it is. But as far as the actual Hall of Fame game goes, I'm excited, man. I'm just excited to get some football back. I'm ready to see Dallas and Pittsburgh go at it. I'll even kind of go into their rosters a little bit, just kind of see the players I'm excited to see. I'll talk about the Steelers first. Kendrick Green, I'm interested to see what he can do. It looks like he's going to be he's going to be competing for the center spot. Definitely interested there. Shakur Brown from Michigan State is a corner I'm interested in seeing. Let's see. Isaiah Buggs, I'm curious to see if he improves. Isaiah Loudermilk is actually a guy I ended up liking more than I thought. I agree, Joe, by the way. Zach definitely needs to get himself into the Hall. That's 100%. Let's see. But yeah, like I said, Isaiah Loudermilk's definitely better than I was expecting because I'm not going to lie, I had no idea who he even was when they drafted him. But after watching the film, he's actually not bad. Devin Bush, I want to see what he can do coming off the injury. Alex Highsmith is a guy I'm excited to see. When what's his name? Bud Dupree went down last year. He stepped up pretty good for them. Interested to see what Melvin Ingram can do. He'll be more rotation role, but still. TJ, of course, is amazing. Let's see. Okafor. Their offensive line is terrible, dude. They got Chaz Green on their team. Chaz Green is fucking ass. Dan Moore from Texas A&M. I want to see him play in preseason. Dwayne Haskins, of course. I want to see what he can do with an actual organization that's not Washington. Didn't Washington just come up with their name? What was it? The Guardians, the Sentinels. What was it now? Oh, it's still narrowed down. Oh, okay. I thought it was official already. They got Kalen Ballage. Did y'all know that the Steelers had Kalen Ballage? I didn't know that. I thought he was still with the Chargers. Najee Harris, I definitely want to see him for sure. And I probably will do a video talking about this, like I said. But Pat, I still can't say his name. Freiermuth, definitely liked him. Anthony Johnson out of Buffalo, the wide receiver. I think he's a guy that hasn't really gotten many opportunities to really show himself in the league. I think he can be a decent player as well. They have DeMarcus Christmas. I did not know that. That's interesting. Let's take a look at Dallas. Now, of course, I don't think he's going to play in the Hall of Fame game, but I am excited to see Dak Prescott play. The injury he had last year was horrific. I'm just excited to see him play again this year. They have a lot of really interesting rookies. Micah Parsons, I want to see if he can improve his mental processing skills and everything like that. Kelvin Joseph, if he could keep himself out of trouble, he is amazing. He was one of my favorite prospects in this class. Osa Odigizua is a fantastic player. Chauncey Golson's okay. So I'm excited to see those guys. Josh Ball, I'm not a fan of at all. I don't like him as a person. Quentin Bohanna, I do want to see. Tyler Biadasz, he was starting to really turn things around. Going from Joe Looney to him seemed like it was a pretty big thing for Dallas last year. All the offensive line was hurt pretty much last year for them, so interested to see them come back. Jabril Cox at LSU, I was a big fan of him. Trevon Diggs, I'd like to see his development. Definitely Tony Pollard. Love Tony Pollard. Neville Gallimore I like. Michael Gallup. Randy Gregory, I definitely want to see. I was just watching. Yeah, I know you love Parsons, Joe. And to be fair, with the defensive line that Dallas is building, I think he can be really, really good. Like I said during the process, is I thought Micah Parsons was a good player. It just depended on how you used him. If you were looking at him as a Mike linebacker, that was my issue. But if you just want him to go sideline to sideline, be athletic, and hit people and do some blitzes, absolutely, he can fuck some shit up for you. So I think he can be really good, and I think doubling up and getting Jabril Cox to be their cover guy, I think was very smart by them. I think Dallas had a pretty good draft, to be honest with you. Let's see. Dude, it just feels good. Yeah, I did see how ripped Zeke is, man. It just feels good, though. Like, talking about a game that's literally happening next week. It feels so good. We're not talking about next month or 2 months from now. We're talking about next week. This coming Thursday. It feels great. CeeDee Lamb has been tearing shit up in training camp as well. I think Keanu Neal is terrible now. But that's me. Kind of interested in seeing who's going to be their backup QB, too. TJ Vasher, he's okay, but I'm not really that big a fan of him. Donovan Wilson, he had some interesting hits last year. Nahshon Wright. Nahshon Wright is a guy that I kind of overlooked a little bit in the draft process. But I think he can do some interesting things for you. Now, it is a little bit weird because you got Diggs and you got Kelvin Joseph as probably your two outside corners. And Nahshon Wright isn't really a nickel. He really struggles on the inside. Like even when he's playing outside, he struggles on routes breaking to the inside, like slants and stuff. So I think that's a little bit weird. I'm not sure how they're planning on using him. I don't know if when they do nickel packages, if they're going to try to move like Diggs inside and have Nahshon and Kelvin Joseph on the outside. I don't know. That could be interesting. Mitch Hyatt's bad. I don't like Mitch Hyatt. that's what I have to say about that. I'm not gonna lie. As a Dolphins fan, training camp is kind of boring, dude. Because like you have so much coverage for like the Steelers, the Jaguars, the Ravens, Dallas, like all these teams. Like they show so much of their training camp. Dolphins don't show shit, which is a good thing strategically. Like you don't want to give up secrets. I understand. But I need some football to watch. I need some content to make with. Like, it's a little frustrating as a Dolphins fan and content creator. But, you know, we move. Let's see. I'm just excited, man. That's really what it is. Yeah, man. Just give us something. Give me like Tua throwing one pass. Give me Austin Jackson getting whooped on. Actually, give me Jesse Davis getting whooped on. Give me like one snap of Christian Wilkins versus Jesse Davis. Give me one snap of that. I'll be good. And I'll tell you what, I'll make like a 3-hour video just replaying that one play now. But I just need something, you know? I'm just ecstatic. Even college ball coming back, it's just gonna be so much fun. NBA was fun this year. I love the UFC. But dude, I'm getting desperate for some damn football. And that indoor league just doesn't cut it for me, man. They're making about $1,000 a game. And it sucks because I actually know someone in it. Raheem Harvey. He's a wide receiver in that league. And even with me knowing that dude personally, it's boring as fuck. I agree. The Dolphins will be a much improved team. Like I said, I think our defense is going to be pretty crazy this year. Like I said, obviously it will be better with Xavien Howard there, but even if he's not, I think if I were to ask you, hey man, like pretend that we didn't have, like if we were starting this team from scratch, 0 players on the roster, and I told you, hey, your corner group is going to be Byron Jones, Jason McCourty, Noah Igbenogany, and Nick Needham. You'd be excited about that. You would. That's still a top-tier corner group in this league. Now, obviously, you throw Xavien Howard into that, and that's fucking crazy. That corner group is insanity. But I think Byron helps cover a lot of that shit up. You've seen that in Dallas. Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, miscellaneous corner that they would put on the other side of him. He kind of covers up a lot of that shit. Safety is still a little bit of a question mark for me, a little bit. But I still think our safety play is fine. I think our linebackers are much improved. I think, like I said, yes, X is definitely an elite corner. I would love to have him still on the team. But it is what it is. I'm just done. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel, Joe. Now I will say, I don't know if you were here earlier when I was really covering that topic. I did see on X's social media posts that he's not looking for a new contract. He's looking to rework the deal to have a little bit more guarantee and, a little bit more like signing bonus things. Because apparently the agent he had when he signed that contract was pretty shit and didn't really explain the contract to him very well. Yeah. I hope so, David. But I'm willing to do that. Like I don't really see an issue with that. I don't even really see an issue on wanting to get a little bit closer with guarantees, just to get a little bit closer to Byron. I could see that. Absolutely. If that's what it takes, do it. But is he going to give us his all after? I think if we would have done it right away, I think he would have. I don't know about now. I don't know how dedicated he is to the Dolphins franchise at this point. I don't know if he just wants out at this point. Or if those negotiations are even worth having at this moment. I hope it's fixable. I really do. Because if you were to ask me, do I want Xavien Howard on this team? The answer is yes. I do. Because we need our elite players. And Xavien Howard, in my opinion, is our best player. Or at least debatably. I mean, who else would you put? Like, Byron and him are our best two players. I love Christian Wilkins, but he ain't as good as them two. I love Tua, but he ain't there yet. You might be able to make a case for Mike Gesicki, but that's a tight end. The position value for a tight end versus corner just not even a conversation. Unless you're like a Travis Kelce or something. Yeah, same, Joe. Because, and that just goes to show you, too, how shitty the media is, man. They dead ass had me thinking he wanted a new contract after just signing it in, 2018, 2019? They dead ass had me thinking that. And that's not the case. That's not what he wanted. So, I mean, I'm willing to give it to him. If he just wants some more guaranteed, and apparently he was even willing to try to work with him to try to make it cap friendly. He just wanted some more guaranteed in his pocket. That's all he wanted. It's just unfortunate. I just feel like this was a massive thing of miscommunication, and egos get involved so heavily with these contract negotiations where both sides don't want to pick up the phone first to communicate. It's so shitty. And I get it because Jerry Jones even had the quote of whoever picks up the phone first loses money, and he's not wrong. But still, yeah, they are. They're going to exploit the situation. And I think because of the ego of people not wanting to pick up the phone first, I think a lot of the information that they receive both ways is through what the media says. That's unfortunate, man. That fucks so much shit up. It really does. I just hope it's correctable at this point. Also, I wish Xavien would have said this months ago. Because then I would have been 100% for Xavien. And I pretty much was for the most part. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but 9 times out of 10, I'm usually siding with the player. 9 times out of 10, I usually side with the player over the organization. Not in every situation, but most of the time. Yeah, it was. I wish X would have said that right away. What he wanted. I just hope it's fixable. Because like I said, I would love to have him. Because the reason that our pass rush, or at least one of the main reasons why our pass rush was so good, is because we could do zero blitzes all the time. That's when our defense was at its best last year, was those zero blitzes. And the reason you can do those is because Byron and X are locking up the opponent's receivers. Their number 1 and 2 are gone. They're out of the game. You can't do that. You can't do constant zero blitzes if you don't have X. Byron's amazing. He'll lock up his guy, 100%. But do I know for a fact that Jason McCourty at his current age or Noah Igbenogany can do the same thing like X can? Absolutely not. And Nick Needham is fantastic. He's just slow. Well, let me fix that. He ain't slow, but he ain't fast either. So, I don't know. It's a rough situation to be in. Like I said, I would have loved to cover training camp more, but there ain't much for me to talk about, man, because I almost envy the Cowboys YouTubers and shit, the Falcons, Ravens, because their team actually posts shit for they actually have footage. I was actually just watching a live stream of the Steelers training camp yesterday. That was dope. I would love that for the Dolphins. I would love it. And then I would actually have some shit to talk about. Yeah, I agree, Joe. At least I hope so. But again, I don't know if you were here earlier, but I did go over Xavien Howard's contract. Worst case scenario, because I'm not trying to trade Xavien Howard away for some bullshit. We got to at least have a first, probably multiple firsts for me to even warrant that, or at least a first in like a starter quality player, something like that. But if we can't get that, if we can't get a trade like that, I would rather hang on to him, because after the 2021 season ends, we do have an out with his contract. We can cut him with about $2.8 million in dead cap. And that's not something I want, but it's better than the alternative in cutting later or now. And we have so much more that we have to deal with. So have I. I've heard that Tua is lighting shit up in general. I've heard that Tua has been amazing so far. And I hope that Albert Wilson really comes up and shines, because I do like him. He just needs to stay healthy. And we need guys. We need athletic dudes. We don't need big-bodied receivers. Like, I love Preston Williams, but I'm going to be real with you. I don't know what his future is with this team. It's just unfortunate. Preston Williams made a lot more sense with Fitz at quarterback, because Fitz loves that style of receiver where you can just throw the ball up and hope he comes down with it. Tua likes more precision, better route running, more athleticism, so he can throw to more like a more open target. He prefers that separation rather than just throw and pray. It works. So I don't know what Preston Williams is going to bring to us. I'm not saying cut him at all. Don't get it twisted, because some fans will be like, yeah, just cut him now, just because I'm saying I don't think he has a future here. I'd rather let him play out his contract and use him this year and then see what we want to do next year. But that's just me. Matt Collins can kind of go unless you're just going to use him for special teams, because, again, same kind of thing as with Preston for me. Is I just don't think it's the type of receiver that Tua typically plays with. And we already have Devontae Parker to kind of deal with it. Right, exactly, Joe. And that's the thing, too, is Devontae Parker is also another big-bodied receiver who is also super injury-prone. By the way, they're both still on IR. They're still on the physically unable to perform list going into training camp, which is unfortunate. Hunter Long, I do like. Now, one thing I will say here, I'm no longer going to be talking about the draft value of last year of this year's picks, because at this point the draft value doesn't fucking matter. They're here now, and I do like Hunter Long. I think he's a solid player. It does make things a little bit weird with Gesicki, because I wasn't quite ready to move him. I don't know. With let me pull up our roster real quick. Robert Foster. He's actually younger than I thought. He's only 27. I didn't know that. No, I do like Hunter Long. Don't get me wrong. I do like him. I just don't think that tight end was the move. Yeah, Gary, Hearns can go today. Alan Hearns can go. He can absolutely go. I'll trade him for Jake Paul right now. Fuck you, man. My bad. Accidentally kicked my fucking desk. I'll probably do a video also talking about all that shit. Jake Fromm. I mean Jake Fromm. He's in okay. You're saying trade him for Jake Fromm. Okay. I was confused. I was like, I was about to say, did we sign him? And I didn't fucking know. I'm slow. My bad. Oh, yeah, probably. Jake Fromm was at least a decent backup quarterback. And Alan Hearns was a good receiver. At one point, he's just not anymore. I'm just not interested in him, and he's not the type of receiver that really fits this roster. Like I said, Alan Hearns fit really well when Fitz was our quarterback, but he's not anymore. By the way, shout out to him in Washington. I hope he does well, because I do still like Fitz a lot. Let's see. The running back room, let's take a look at that. And I'll even look at the contract situations too with it. Malcolm Brown's cool. Gaskin's cool. Patrick Laird can go. DeAndre Washington can go. Jared Dokes and Jordan Scarlett are both interesting. Jared Dokes, just because he has a 4-year contract, will probably make it. Ahmed's and no, just it's just Ahmed and Malcolm Brown's contracts are going to be up after this year, and Scarlett, I guess. I'd probably run with like Brown, Gaskin, Dokes, and Ahmed. You can cut Washington and Laird. And maybe have like Scarlett on practice squad or something. But Laird can go right now, and so can DeAndre Washington. I've never really liked Patrick Laird much. He was a cool blocker. Okay, he was okay at that. But not much more than that. I'm honestly not that comfortable with our running back room. I still think it's pretty weak. Especially with our offensive line still being a question mark. I don't think it's a good enough running back room to overcome the running back situation. I mean, the offensive line situation we're dealing with. Those two spots are where I'm the most weary with our offense. If you have an elite offensive line, your running backs don't matter as much. Anybody else I want gone today? Let's take a look. As much as I would like to say it, not Michael Dieter. Same thing with Jesse Davis. Unfortunately, we kind of have to hang on to both of them. Let me pull up our depth chart rather than the roster. That way I can look at specific positions a little easier. Also, I don't want to use ESPN's website. I want to use the Dolphins website. Or CBS. CBS works too. Never mind. There's ads. That's what I was trying to avoid with ESPN. Okay. As long as they don't have sound, we're good. Let's see. We don't have another quarterback, but honestly, Reed Sinnett can probably go, and we have like Lynn Bowden and Malcolm Perry as emergency quarterbacks. I'd rather roll with them. Albert Wilson's doing well in training camp, and he can stick around. He was going to be someone I would say cut. Smythe and Shaheen is going to get a little bit weird. I think Smythe's probably going to lose that spot, even though I do like him. Again, the tight end situation is just fucking weird. Let me look at that more directly. We have so many goddamn tight ends. Keith and Carter, Gesicki, Long, Meyer, I don't know how to pronounce that. Myrick, Shaheen, Smythe. We just got so many goddamn tight ends on this team. Myrick can go. Meyer can go. Keith and Carter can go. Then we would have Gesicki, Long, Shaheen, and Smythe. And then just let Shaheen and Smythe battle it out, I guess, right? Because Hunter Long's here. I ain't trying to cut Gesicki. That's not good for your health. Not really. He really didn't. But Brian Flores seems to really value tight end. I'm not sure how much they're really asking Tua what he thinks, to be fair. Who the fuck is that guy? Derval Quirez Nato? Who the fuck is that guy? Right guard? He's from Brazil? Ain't that interesting? Y'all know who that guy is? I don't know who that is. I don't know where the fuck he came from. I didn't see that in our transactions. Fuck that dude come from? Did I do a video about him? Maybe I did. I did a lot of videos during this offseason. I really fucking did. Let me check. I don't think I did. He's a foreign exchange player. Yeah, I think I have seen him on the practice squad. It's kind of rough because we didn't get preseason last year. Reminds you of the fullback from the Ravens. I'll have to check him out. Find a film from Brazil might be kind of difficult, but I'll try. But that's what preseason is going to be for. Now, one thing I will say, I don't know if y'all caught the beginning of this stream. One, I will not be showing film for preseason because there is no all 22s for preseason. It's all broadcast film, and that shit gets striked. So I won't be showing it. Also, for the regular season, I do plan on doing the film sessions like I did last year. But there might be a bit of a delay. I hope not. But financially finding the extra $100 right now is kind of in a rough spot. I briefly explained it a little bit earlier. I'll just kind of run through it real quick. Basically, my financial aid for my college is fucking up, so I'm now having to pay out of pocket. So that's rough. And then my grandfather just got diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and I'm now trying to find a place for him and my grandmother to be able to move in with me, because if he goes, and it's stage 4, so it's more like when he goes, she is not going to be able to financially keep herself afloat. So I'm kind of in a rough spot right now financially. So when I find the extra $100, I'll get Game Pass as soon as I can. But it's kind of rough right now. Luckily, it doesn't matter until September because they don't start showing all 22s until then. So hopefully all is fine by then. But, it is what it is. But let's take a look. Nate Hawley can go. Clayton can go. I think we can really clear out this safety room quite a bit. I wouldn't have a fullback, period, like I said. Carl Tucker can absolutely go. I know he's a rookie. I don't care. Jerome Johnson's interesting. I want to see him in the regular season. I mean, in preseason as well. Wow, we've already been going for 50 minutes. It does not feel like it. I may even record those videos after this. I plan on doing a video covering the Dolphins roster before we go into preseason. And I'll probably do a quick video on players I'm looking forward to seeing with the Cowboys and Steelers game. Just because that is what's going to be starting us off. So I'll probably do something with that. I'm just ecstatic. Like, for real. Who are y'all excited to see? Anybody you're excited to see in preseason on the Dolphins or otherwise? Like I said, I think Dwayne Haskins is going to be really interesting for the Steelers. I just kind of want to see what he looks like with it. I was about to say with a decent organization, but the Steelers don't seem to know what they're fucking doing anymore either, to be fair. That offensive line is atrocious. It's worse than ours. Jared Dokes, yeah. I am excited to see him too. It can be either. Like I said, either one. Our team, the most excited for the Dolphins that I am. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but Jalen Phillips, you know, like I just love Jalen Phillips. He was by far my favorite acquisition we got this year. Hunter Long is going to be interesting. Yeah. Definitely Waddle, of course. Yeah, dude. The Detroit Lions, man. The Detroit Lions murdered that draft. The Lions murdered it. They really did. Like, holy shit. Did the Lions murder that fucking draft? Let me take a look at that real quick. There it is. But Penei Sewell, Levi Onwuzurike, Alim McNeil, Ifitu Melifonwu, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Derek Barnes, Shamar Jefferson, like all of those are solid ass picks for where they were picked. It's crazy. By the way, I want to I'm kind of annoyed with myself there. I got Levi Onwuzurike and Ifitu Melifonwu right, but I could not say Amon-Ra St. Brown. That kind of bothers me a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. I guess I can kind of talk about some of the players I've been watching a little bit. Now, these are not final grades whatsoever. I'm not really evaluating talent like that this year so far yet. But some of the players I've been taking a look at for the 2022 class is Max Borghi, I think is how you pronounce it, running back from Washington State. Kayvon Edge from Oregon. I can't pronounce it. Thibodeaux. That's terrible. Solid edge rusher, though. Tyler Lindenbaum, who's a solid center. I mean, you guys probably know him. Ethan Neal, Alabama, offensive lineman, solid as hell. DeMarvin Leal, pretty decent. Sam Howell, I'm not really a fan of. I'm not liking these quarterbacks so far for this class, like at all. Drake Jackson's there. Chris Olave is fantastic. And I'll tell you, I don't know for sure how to pronounce it, but George Karaftis, I'm sure I butchered that. But defensive end out of Purdue, he's looking pretty nice too. He's looking real nice. Garrett Wilson's fine. Zach Harrison's fine. Good two-gapper. But it's been fun. I haven't watched too many yet. It's more so me not being able to sit still, wanting football, and there wasn't any. So film, it's basically what it comes down to. I start itching for it around this time of year. So that's what I've been doing. Try to keep that at bay. Like I said, the UFC is fun, but it ain't the same. And I can't do baseball. But I don't know if there was anything else I really wanted to cover. Yeah. Shaquem Griffin is a player I'm a massive fan of. I love Shaquem Griffin. I loved him at UCF coming out. I wasn't doing videos back then when he was coming out, but I thought he was just such a high effort, athletic talent. And I think Seattle was using him wrong, like completely. Because like I said before, they were using him as a full-on Sam linebacker where you have to be able to use your hands to get off blocks, which literally couldn't be the worst. Like, you couldn't have a worse thing to make a one-handed player do. Like, specifically, you need hands for this. That's what you're making him do. It's a bad call. But if you just want to let him use his athleticism and let him use his high effort and just let him go after the quarterback, I'm here for it. Maybe not as a starter, but as like a rotational guy, absolutely. That sounds like a fun time. And Trey Williams looks good, and Liam Eichenberg, I think, will be a fantastic right tackle. I know that right now the Dolphins are having to do that whole seniority thing where they got to technically say that Jesse Davis is our starting right tackle. Just fucking put Liam in there. Just put Liam in there. He's better. He's day one better. You know why? Because he knows how to use his goddamn hands. Jesse Davis might as well not have hands. I don't even know how. I don't know. I don't think Jesse Davis knows how to use a fork because it requires hands to use one. But anyway, I don't want to get on a tangent. But I think the biggest concern for me is that center position, though. The offensive line as a whole, sure, but I do not feel good about that center spot at all. Like, I talked about it earlier, but Matt Skora, Cameron Tom, and Michael Dieter, that sucks. That is terrible. And those three are the ones that are fighting for that starting center spot. That's bad. Saul McKinley, Robert Hunt, I think they'll be just fine at guard. I think that Liam Eichenberg, I think he'll be fine. I do think he'll probably have some problems as a rookie with his power. I think some of the more powerful edge rushers might give him a little bit of trouble. But, I mean, they give Jesse Davis trouble too, so I'm not really that concerned. So I'm excited to see how that goes. But that's just me. I also want to see if Ahmed has improved any as well. But I think the dark horse for me is Jason Strowbridge. Like, I loved him coming out of the draft. Like, if you go and watch my older videos after the 2020 draft, I guess it would be, he was one of the players of our class that I was the most excited about, just value-wise, just where we took him. Because I wasn't a fan of that class as a whole. The Tua pick I was cool with, but most of the picks I thought were kind of bad. The two I was excited about were Davis and Strowbridge. And obviously Davis has been fucking amazing for us. I mean, obviously. Raquan Davis. And I think Jason Strowbridge can be a really good player for us, too. Now, he's not going to get you a bunch of pass rush. He's not. But as a run defender, good God. He's fantastic. I don't think he fits our scheme that well, to be honest. But I think he's a fantastic player. Hopefully this offseason, he's worked on being a little bit better at two-gapping. Now, I'm not expecting him to start because my starters would be Davis, Wilkins, and Seiler as our 3 down defensive linemen. But I would like to see Strobridge as a rotational guy, especially when we do go 4-3. Because I think as a 4-3 left defensive end, a run-stopping defensive end, I think he's fantastic. I really do. I think he has a lot of potential. He just hasn't had the opportunities. I also think the Tyshawn Render is really interesting too. Again, we didn't have preseason, so we didn't really get to see him. But that dude is an athletic specimen as an edge rusher. He really is. He's very raw. At least last we saw him in college. He is definitely raw. He needs to learn how to use his hands. He definitely needs to learn to rush with a plan. But athletically, he's crazy. Crazy athletic. I mean, that's the dude that, I don't know if y'all remember, but Tyshawn Render is the guy that made Bill Belichick miss the combine. He chose to not go to the combine in 2020 so that he could go watch Tyshawn Render work out in the rain because of how athletic of a talent he is at edge rusher. It's interesting. I really, really want to see what that man can do. I really do. Who knows? Maybe he can get some snaps for us in the regular season if he impresses well enough. Because, like I said, that athleticism is crazy. But I do think we have gotten more athletic across the defense as a whole. Now, of course, Jerome Baker, fucking athletic as hell. And I also think we got smarter with McKinney. McKinney is one of my other favorite acquisitions we got this year. Just because a lot of our linebackers are more so the athletic, just run and hit people, but McKinney is really the more, I'm going to read my keys and I'm going to be in the right spot and I'm going to do my job well type of linebacker. And I appreciate that a lot. Because that's what Jerome Baker and he's injured right now. Landon Roberts. I could not think of Landon Roberts' name just now. That's one thing that they both struggled with last year is reading their keys and getting misdirected to death. But that's just me. But anyway, I think I'm probably going to wrap it up here. We've been going for about an hour. And I talked about pretty much what I wanted to. I wanted to talk about the Cowboys and Steelers going into the Hall of Fame game. I wanted to talk a little bit of the channel update, what's going on, what my thoughts on X and training camp as a whole. Don't sweat the rumors we see in training camp. They're not really that crazy. Tua seems to be doing really well and stuff. But some of the rumors just kind of let it slide off your back. Training camp rumors are always something that to be taken with a grain of salt. So just kind of use your fair judgment on all these things, and you'll be fine. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, leave in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.